This is the basics.
1, 2, 3, get money.
The Iowa Hawkeyes getting set for what figures to be a history-making season. Kirk Ferentz just 2 victories away from becoming the winningest coach in Big Ten history. But it's not just Ferentz's record that has Iowa fans fired up. With a highly touted transfer QB set to help revive the passing game and their typical stingy D, the Hawks are being mentioned as a college football playoff dark horse. Over the next hour, we'll go in-depth on Iowa football. It's our Hawkeye training camp special now. Greetings from Iowa City. The Hawkeyes entering year 27 under head coach Kirk Ferentz. Been a model of consistency, have qualified for 12 straight bowl games, tied for the longest streak in the Big Ten, hoping to reach new heights this season. As we welcome you in, Dave Refson, Jerry DiNardo, and Jake Butt. Always a great stop here. Lots to look forward to. There's a lot of buzz around the offense and quarterback Mark Gronowski. What excites you as we get ready to watch the Hawks?
Okay, I have 3 storylines. 2 of them are pretty boring, okay? Can Phil Parker, one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, can he replace the 8 starters? LeVar Woods, one of the best special team coaches in the country, can he have his special teams ready to win a game when asked to, which he has done quite a bit. The exciting one is Mark Gronowski and Tim Lester at quarterback and as offensive coordinator. I think all eyes are on those 2.
Yeah, it feels like a safe bet, the first 2, that Phil Parker is going to have this defense ready to play. LeVar Woods.
I said it was boring.
Yes.
But up to it, yeah.
Year 1 with Tim Lester, we saw this offense finally. They had an identity. They took clear steps, and yet there's still so much room for improvement. And of course, we're excited about the quarterback. I think he's the most talented quarterback they've had in a number of years, and the most dynamic quarterback that they've had as far back as I can remember. I want to see him outside of the pocket. That's where the explosive plays happens. I think this Iowa offensive line, when they're at their best, it's the offensive line that drives the offense and the team. They got 2 of the best offensive linemen in the conference.
You know, I was talking to Tim Lester before practice, and interesting enough that the only team that looked like them offensively, schematically, was UCLA with Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator. And now he knows how people are going to defend his West Coast attack. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so Tim Lester came in last year. They improved by leaps and bounds, primarily in the run game. As we know, quarterback play, they had injury issues, and it wasn't where they needed it to be. Wide receiver-wise, I'm interested in seeing how this group has developed as well. It does feel like as they get older here and more familiar with the system, that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, and in fact, I would say of all the positions, the learning curve of quarterback and wide receiver, might be the most complicated because there's so many different formations. It's such a wordy offense that I think there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback and the wide receivers. I think the offensive line is zone blocking right, zone blocking left. They put it in the middle zone. I mean, it's not all that difficult mentally for the offensive line, but the wide receivers and the quarterback have a lot to do in this offense.
Yeah, they got a blend of older guys and some young, exciting prospects, but it all works in unison. It truly is a team here. And if the offensive line can take a stride, if the run game can even improve, all of a sudden you have play action that's going to help those guys create separation. And Addison Estranga, the tight end, one thing I'm excited, we're the home of tight end U right here. I'm excited to see the Hawkeye tight ends as well. So when Gronowski gets out of the pocket, that's just an element they haven't had here. It gives them extra numbers. All of a sudden, you have a quarterback that can make a play when it's 3rd and 9 and there's no one opened. Iowa hasn't had a quarterback that can do that. So excited to see his athleticism.
You know, Jake, it's interesting. Even when we're not a tight end, you kind of give us a tight end rundown.
I'm showing my hand a little bit, yes.
Right, but this is the place to do it, and I'm excited to see Estranga, the latest, one would think, in a really good line of Iowa tight ends. The schedule is really interesting. They were 7-1, remember, at home last year. They got challenging games all over the place, frankly, but they got 3 really big ones at home. We'll dive into that a little bit later in the show as well. So a really good Iowa hour coming up here. The defense, always a strength here, and last year was no different. Top 3 in the conference in takeaways, interceptions, and forced fumbles. Their plus 12 turnover margin was their second best in the last 20 years. A program that leads the nation in interceptions over the last 10 years combined. Two of the stars of that D, Aaron Graves and Xavier Wampa with Jake.
All right, guys, I want to start with the hard-hitting questions. So, Aaron, we'll start with you.
Alrighty.
Big summer.
Yep.
Got married. You got a baby on the way.
Yep.
Tell me about the wedding. Tell me about how you're feeling going into the season.
Yeah. We decided to do everything our first year. So, got married, got a baby boy on the way. The wedding was a fantastic day. We had a great time. I think everybody enjoyed themselves a lot. I had a lot of teammates there. It was a fun day, and I couldn't really ask for much more. Then went on the honeymoon right after, and we're expecting a baby here soon. So doing a lot.
Congratulations. How's the catering work for a wedding when you got a bunch of Iowa Hawkeyes to feed?
Just by the person. So just have the meal plan and say, okay, this is how much you're getting. So we made sure we had a lot of appetizers before for them so they weren't too hungry after. And we ordered some pizza after the meal too. So people were well fed.
Yeah, a lot of calories needed.
Yep.
All right, Xavier, you had an awesome offseason as well. You moved from strong safety to free safety. What went into that decision and what changes for you from an X's and O's standpoint?
Really, it was just Coach Parker. He was putting me in another position. I have some of the most experience on the back end, so just stepping into that more vocal leadership role, help the guys just fly around and play fast.
Looking at the starting unit, the depth chart, it's all fourth-year guys, fifth-year guys, six-year guys, not a lot of transfers. So you guys know each other even going back to recruiting. Talk about the chemistry that you have in the defensive meeting room.
Yeah, I think this group has been together for a long time, like you said. We only have a couple transfers. And the transfers that we do have, I think, gel really well with the culture here. And I think that's by design, too. Our coaches want those type of players with us. And I'm really excited for this year. I think the team chemistry and, like, the bond we have away from the building, too, is really good this year.
How does that play into the back end of the defense?
Us, we've been taking either twos reps. We've been playing together alongside each other for the past couple years. So just having that chemistry, knowing and being on the same page with each other so we can just fly around.
So the linebacker room, some new faces, still veteran guys, but new faces getting the start. What's your level of trust with those guys, and what do you have in the linebacker room?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, like, from a D-line perspective, I think they've grown a lot, even just from last year, that group, and giving us the right call, getting us aligned properly before the snap and everything. I've seen a lot of growth in that area, like the vocal part. I think they're a lot more loud, more confident, and I see a lot of them just flying around, making plays, which we love to see as D-linemen. It clears the picture up for the whole defense when they're flying around, filling gaps, and making plays.
You know, Xavier, for Phil Parker, I mean, every single year we can expect Iowa to have one of the best defenses in the country. If you had to explain the magic, what makes him such a great teacher and what allows you guys to succeed every single year?
The details. He's really key on the details. The little things is what sets us apart. So just doing your job, making sure you're aligned correctly, making sure you're going through your progression defensively, and making your eyes in the right place lets you fly around, make sure you're on the same page as everybody, and just lets us go.
One more for both of you. You've been with Kirk Ferentz for a really long time. He's going to break the record for career wins by a Big Ten coach at some point this fall. What does he mean to you, and how special is that moment going to be?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ferentz is a fantastic coach. I mean, going to be a Hall of Famer, all-time great college coach. He was a big reason why I loved Iowa so much growing up. I was a big Hawk fan, and just like the tradition and the culture that he set for us, he's always steady. And so through the highs and lows, he's always just put your head down and work. And I think that bleeds into the other position coaches and into the team. And so under his leadership, I think it makes things really easy to be successful. And we're really excited to be the team that gets that win for him to break the record. But he was telling us, like, you know, I don't think he's too worried about it. I think he's just like, it's just another game.
That's how he is. Yeah. How about you?
He doesn't want it to be a distraction at all. So but he's a real players coach. Like, he has good relationships with all the players. He knows everyone's birthday, talks to everyone's parents. He has, like, open policy. If you have something going on, he's like a person you can go talk to, and the whole staff's really similar to him as well. So it's just been a blessing to have him as our head guy and really run this program.
Awesome. Well, it's a treat to watch you guys play defense. Looking forward to watching you guys this fall. Thanks.
Thank you.
So much more to come on the show. Iowa's offense improved significantly last year under new coordinator Tim Lester. Jerry talks with the Iowa OC, plus we break down what we saw today. Next. And later in the show, Kirk Ferentz on the precipice of history. The Iowa coach joins me with thoughts on his team's progress so far in camp. It's our Iowa Practice Tour special on the Big Ten Network. Iowa's offense took a massive jump last year. The Hawks' highest scoring season since 2018, nearly 28 points per game, up more than a dozen points over 2023. Only Indiana took a bigger jump among Big Ten teams. The Hawks went over 450 yards of offense twice in Tim Lester's first year as offensive coordinator, something that hadn't happened even once in the prior 3 years. Lester now with Jerry.
Coach, this question might not surprise you. How's Mark Gronowski doing?
He's doing a great job. You know, we're a week and a half in. Guy came in, played 55 college football games, and it shows. And still learning, you know, still running some plays for the first time, second time, third time, getting comfortable. But great start. Really, you know, has become a leader quickly on our team, and so it's a good start.
Some things he needs to improve on?
I think it's reps. I got to get him reps, you know, and we've done a lot of individual, just getting him all the different throws within the offense. Some are exactly like he did at South Dakota State, but some are new, and so we've been trying to lean heavily on those new throws, things that they didn't do. He's pretty darn good at the things he's been doing for 4 years of starting, but that's really what we need to focus on, is just get him comfortable with those throws.
You have 3 offensive linemen returning to what looks like a really good offensive line. Talk about those 3 and maybe some depth.
Yeah, I mean, with the 3, you know, obviously Logan Jones, Bo Stevens, Jennings Dunker, probably our 3 best linemen, came back. Our other 2 ended up in NFL camp, so we're happy. And but those 3 really athletic and really run. Caden Pieper was our 6th lineman that would go in goal line situations. He's kind of stepped in at the right guard spot, but all 3 of them can run at a very unique level for 320-pound kids. And then we have a 3-way battle for the last spot. And so we got some depth, we got some experience, and as you know, everything goes by those guys. So we're fortunate to have that group.
A little banged up at running back.
Yeah.
I thought Jazz looked terrific today. Talk about Jazz and maybe talk about some of the guys we didn't see.
Yeah, Jazz is just steady Eddie. He's been playing for 2 or 3 years now. Kamari Moulton has a slight hamstring. You know, he's been held out for a couple practices now, and TJ got dinged up a little bit. He's been out, but it's allowed young guys to step up. You know, Xavier Williams is a redshirt freshman who's a big bruising back. Nathan McNeil is a true freshman out of Florida who's really dynamic and catch the ball really well. So really excited about the depth. You know, it might be more of a committee running team this year as opposed to Caleb Johnson right and left. But I'm excited about what they each can do and bring to the offense.
You know, most practices in preseason, you're balanced run and pass. It looked like you were balanced today. Talk about the wide receiver group.
Yeah, it's most improved group without question. You know, this is a wordy, complex offense, and last year there was a lot of learning going on. This year they're playing faster. I mean, our receivers are running because they know what they're doing. They're not running lines on a paper anymore. They're making adjustments on coverage, and so I'm excited. We got 4 seniors in the room. You know, Seth Anderson and Caden Weegan have been, you know, around, and they're really understanding what's going on, and obviously our tight end. So we got to keep throwing the ball, get Mark comfortable, continue to develop the wide receivers, and you know, and we're still going to lean on the guys up front. So you know, we're trying to be 50-50. Last year, by the end of the year, with some quarterback injuries, we had to lean one way.
Right.
But I think everyone's goal is to be 50-50.
What's left undone before the opener?
I think it was just a lot of special situations. You know, we got in a 3rd down scenario today. Phil had it coming from all over the place. I mean, that cover 0. I don't know if he runs much cover 0, but he does against us. So practice is fun. Corner blitzes. I mean, it's coming from everywhere. So just seeing all the unique situations. I think, you know, when we get premier coverages and premier looks, our guys that can pin their ears back and play pretty well. But we got to give them all the other looks that you know are going to happen on a Saturday. 2-minute drill situations, end of half, end of game. We really got to focus on that in the next couple weeks so we're ready.
Let's go back to the quarterback for a minute. Who's behind Mark?
We have kind of a battle going on.
Like
you
it,
know,
yeah.
like, you know, Hank Brown came in from Auburn. Started a couple games in the SEC last year, did a good job. He was a redshirt freshman last year. He'll be a redshirt sophomore. And then Jeremy Hecklinski came in. He's a redshirt freshman out of Wake Forest. So they both have been in college. They're both learning the system. You know, Hank's a little bit ahead because he was here in the spring. He's the only one. They all got here in 2025 at some point. None of them were here last fall. So it's fun to watch those 2 battle. I'm kind of evening their reps up and putting them in with the 1s a little bit just to get Mark with the 2s, just to keep everybody learning together. But it's a good group. They get along. They're all learning a ton and they're competing. So it's a fun room to coach right now. This
is your 2nd year at Iowa. How more comfortable are you with knowing the competition?
A ton. I mean, last year, especially with, you know, we run a Shanahan system, right? So we're very condensed, and not a lot of people do that. So we went into a lot of games last year really not knowing what we were going to see. It was great when we played UCLA, or we played a team that just played UCLA, because the enemy had a lot of the same stuff. It's the only time to see how they're going to line up to our formation. So if you look early on in the year, we became a pretty good second and third quarter team once we figured out what they were doing. But we have film against a lot of the teams now. More and more people are running condensed sets with motions and stuff. So way more comfortable with my surroundings and the players and obviously the opponents. And coach has been doing this schedule for 27 years. And I went the whole first year that every single event we had was like, we're going to do it like we did last year. And I would raise my hand. I'm the only new guy. I'm like, can you guys tell me what that is? You know? And I'll never forget the first time, it was this January. The first time he said, hey, it was a junior day. He's like, we're going to do it like we did last year. And I pounded the table. It's like, I know what we're doing today, guys. First time in 365 days. I know the plan. Everyone else has been doing it for 17, 25 years. And so it's way more comfortable than it's been.
That's great. Have a great year, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Taking a look at Gronowski's numbers, two-time national champ at South Dakota State. As you'd expect, his completion percentage much better, closer to the line of scrimmage. But interestingly, his Pro Football Focus grade is better when he throws it deep. 14 TDs, just 2 picks on balls that traveled more than 20 yards in the air. I think all Iowa fans are really interested in watching Mark Gronowski. There's been so much build-up. We got a chance to observe him in practice. It seems like the obvious place to start at quarterback. What did you guys think?
Well, he looks to be a perfect fit for what Tim Lester wants offensively. I think his growth mentally is going to be even more than physical. This is a very wordy offense. It's West Coast style. Lester knows a little bit better how people are going to defend him once the season starts. But I think for Gronowski, the mental part is really going to be a challenge. I mean, he can throw, he can run as much as he has to, but I think he's probably going to feel a lot better in a couple weeks knowing the language.
Yeah, and his intelligence and experience, I think, play favorably as far as that goes, because of the verbiage and the motions are to reveal the defense's hands. It's to be used as an advantage. To me, he's clearly the best quarterback that they've had in a number of years. He throws a very catchable ball, but I think the element that's going to really unlock this offense is his rushing ability. You know, run game is really basic mathematics. It's just a game of numbers. And with this offensive line, this is an elite offensive line. When your quarterback can pull and run the ball, suddenly you don't have to block that defensive end. You can read him. So you get +1 numbers in the box. So his ability to run and keep defenses honest is going to help open up everything in the offense.
They've never been a team really that has put their quarterback in harm's way.
Right.
And so if they do some of the decide play, it'll be a little bit of a change. And you know, you're gonna have to be more than one deep at quarterback. So it would be different for the Iowa offense, but it'd be a little risky.
And they do feel better about their depth as well. They have 2 transfers, both of whom had some moments here today that were pretty impressive. Kirk Ferentz was talking to me before practice and really praised the intelligence of Gronowski and said that has come through a guy who's got an engineering degree, so stands to reason he's pretty bright. And he said he's really picked up on the offense well. Okay, so aside from that, you lose Caleb Johnson. So running back, I think, is a big focus. Jake talked about the offensive line, which, man, I mean, you compare it to a couple of years ago, Jerry, it's really a lot better. So run game, what do you think?
Yeah. Tim Lester mentioned they've got 6 guys competing. It's going to be their best and deepest offensive line in a little bit. They were injured at running back. I thought Jazz had a really, really good day. He has one speed. I mean, everyone talks about the way he works and how good a player he is.
Yeah, I think when Iowa's offensive line is rolling, that's the engine of the entire team, not just the offense, because it allows them to play ball control. It keeps that elite defense on the sidelines, and this offensive line has a chance to be the best that we've seen in a really, really long time. Watching them all step in unison in that outside zone scheme. And I think both coaches said that, Coach Lester and Coach Ferentz, it'll be a running back by committee. They're deep. There's a bunch of freshmen that were getting opportunities today that look really, really special. So, and I got to talk about the tight ends.
I knew I was going to give
I'm going to jump the gun on this one.
Ostrega was really good.
I think he's a breakout candidate in this conference, and he really, this West Coast system, they get into play action and they give their tight ends, options. He's a breakout candidate in the conference.
You should give him an opportunity not to talk about the tight ends one of these days.
Or maybe
it would hurt my feelings.
Just a little tight end corner, right? With just a separate show where Jake talks about the tight ends. This would be a good place to do it because they've had some good ones, and Ostrega certainly one of them. We'll chat with Kirk Ferentz next, what he's seen from the offense so far in camp, plus big picture on the Hawks. as they head into 2025. That's next on the Big Ten Network. We have mentioned it a time or two already. Kirk Ferentz poised to make history this year. Took him a while to get going. Just 4 wins in his first 2 seasons at Iowa combined. He's won 200 since then. A truly remarkable run that has him within 1 victory of tying Ohio State's Woody Hayes for the all-time Big Ten record. Ferentz could tie the record in the opener against Albany, could break it the following week against rival Iowa State. And Kirk Ferentz joins me now. Coach, when you think back to how it started in your time at Iowa, you lost 18 of your first 20 games. What does it mean now to be approaching this record?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder on that one. So, no, it's just, it's part of the travels, if you will. When we got here, we didn't know what to expect or how it was going to go. But each of those teams in those first 2 years did a good job of improving. And that's really kind of been our goal. That's what it was with Coach Fry when I was here in the 80s, just trying to focus on getting better and doing week by week. And obviously things materialized a little better after the first 20 games. But the credit goes to our players. Had a bunch of good guys through here and obviously a good coaching staff.
So how does it feel to be at that point?
Well, yeah, I'm just happy to be coaching, quite frankly. And, this has been talked about more outside our building. And rightfully so. I'm not being disrespectful at all to it, but this is a chance for us to have another season, and it's been fun to work with this group and just see everybody coming together, and we'll see what happens this season.
Starting year 27, and we were talking before practice, and you were saying to me, "Hey, I still get nervous in July. I still get nervous on game day." What excites you the most? What keeps you going as you start a new season?
It's there's a lot of things, but first of all, in the anxiousness, anxiety part, it's just the unknown. You just never you can't guarantee what's going to happen, certainly on the game field and just even going into camp. But the fun part of what we do is, like, every year is a new year and a new challenge. And then obviously during the course of over 11 plus months, sometimes it's a lot of things happen. So how do you navigate all those things? But it just circles back again to the people you're with on a daily basis. I think that's why football is so enjoyable, and I spent 2 years teaching school too, and not quite as much fun, but there's a lot of stuff going on, the interactions. That's why you do this, and just to watch young people grow.
What kind of teacher were you?
English, actually. I was functionally literate up until 1980, and then it's gone downhill.
How about in the classroom? What did you enjoy about that you think translates to this?
Same thing. The biggest challenge I had, I was in a private prep school up in New Massachusetts, Worcester Academy. Had a great mentor, the AD Tom Blackburn, was a legendary basketball coach, and he tolerated us as Ken O'Keefe, Mike Shermer, some of the guys, and John Bridge was. But anyway, he tolerated us and really helped us. But the funniest part was I taught English as a foreign language, one class, about 20 guys and 20 students, and I'm not sure they understood a word start to finish. And that's start to finish of the year, not one class.
All right. Well, when they're native speakers and it's English as a foreign language, that's when you really know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it is, and that's why we need English teachers.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, talking about this team. There's a lot of focus on Mark Gronowski, and we talked in Las Vegas, and you said, "Hey, I haven't seen him throw yet because he had the off-season shoulder surgery." You've seen him throw now. We got to see him throw today too. What has stood out as you've watched him?
Prior to practice, just the kind of person he is and the way he's handled this, and it's tough to come into a situation where you can't function full speed physically, and everybody else is. I thought he handled that just masterfully, and he's just slowly built and earned everybody's trust, and so that part's all been there. Now practice 10 today. He gets better every day. He's still missing a few things here and there, but it looks better every day. And to me, it's just a matter of him getting comfortable with all the calls, the jargon, all those types of things, and the reads. But one thing about him, like when he does something, he gets a lot out of it, and next time it happens, he's got the right reaction. So that's what good players do.
It feels to my relatively untrained eye like the wide receiver group has really taken a jump to give people a sense of where you see that unit.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our struggles at that position. No fault of anybody's, but injuries, crazy things, same with the offensive line. And the receiver group's really interesting because we have 4 older guys, 4 seniors, and then 4 younger guys that are in the mix. And I'm not sure who's going to play how much or what, but the whole group is really taking a big step forward. Starting with their older guys, that they're kind of really showing the younger guys how to do things, and just really appreciative of that. But yeah, it's a good group right now. It's been competitive, the work between them, and I think they're in the confidence of the quarterbacks and vice versa.
You're in the post-Caleb Johnson era now. Yep. I mean, he was so fabulous last year and really solved a lot of problems, right? It was easy to turn around and hand it to him. But, man, the backs were impressive. And I know we had a couple guys who weren't even out there today. Yep. So it feels like you're still in a pretty good spot, maybe just going about it a little bit differently, but give people some insight into life without Caleb.
Yeah, that first point is I think it's illustrative of what's great about college football, especially at a place like this. I think we have more probably quote-unquote stories than some other places. And, so Caleb was a guy on our roster, a good guy. But he was not the starter at this time last year. And then obviously what he did on the field was just so impressive. And but last year was the first year, like he's always been a great kid, but he really focused, and he didn't have a bad practice in August, and I think that showed on the game field. And so now we lose him, and I've got a group of guys that maybe haven't played as much, but I think every guy in the room's got strengths they bring to the team, and even our true freshman, Nathan McNeil's a young guy, but I think he's really impressed us too. So to your point, we had a couple guys out today. They've been out a couple days, and none of us are smart enough that who's going to be ready to go in September, October. But the good news is all those guys are competing well, and I think we're going to be fine at that position.
Defense, it feels like it's so easy. I almost feel like we've had this conversation before, like from where we sit, you just think, oh, well, they'll be fine. And it almost negates the incredible work that goes into it. But at the end of the day, you guys always turn out great defenses. You did have a lot of personnel turnover there. So where do you feel like that group is? Is there an area that you feel best about? Is an area that maybe concerns you the most? Yeah, again, I think there's been a consistency there. We have a identity, if you will, and our guys certainly know how to coach it and teach it. So, and that all started with Norm, but Phil's done a great job. So, and I think most importantly, our players understand it. And now we've got a senior group of linebackers cherry-pick that position where you lose three really good guys. And so you got three guys that are seniors. They've been here a lot, and they know what to do. Now it's a matter of going out and doing it. But we have some good young guys competing with them, kind of like the receiver room. So I wouldn't even want to try to predict how it's all going to shake out here. But I think guys are comfortable with what we're doing. We just got to be doing it better. And, it's going to be fun to watch how it all, and we're going to know a lot more when we start playing games in late August, early September. There is some talk of this team nationally as a college football playoff dark horse. I know that conversation doesn't originate from you. It's kind of not your nature. But for this to be a special season, what has to happen? Yeah, I mean, our goal is to win every game, and I hope everybody says. I mean, that's what you're practicing and working for. But all that said, I mean, it gets back to handling each day in front of you. And right now, we got to worry about camp. But I like our team, and like my 20+ years here, it's kind of the same old story. A lot of times, our best guys have to play their absolute best. If they're not growing and improving, then we're going to be deficient there. We need some stories. I mean, Caleb last year, and it seems like each and every year we have somebody that'll step up, and it's like, hey, boy, where'd that guy come from? He's pretty good. And I think we have a multitude of guys that could maybe fill that role. And then the last thing, it's just all about how you handle the bumps. And that's one thing in sports, any sport, I think, but I know football better. There's going to be something or a bunch of somethings. And so how do we react? What's our answer? And if we get knocked down, what are we going to do then? Could you put in for as few somethings as possible? Can you? Yeah, singular would be great with me. I'm all for that. Request? Yeah. All right, Kirk Ferentz, always a pleasure. Thanks, Dave. Always good to see you guys. We turn our attention to the Iowa D next. No one does it better than Phil Parker. The longtime DC sits down to discuss what's ahead for his unit, plus Jake and Jerry on what they saw defensively today. One of the many remarkable stats surrounding the Iowa defense under Phil Parker, 9 straight years allowing fewer than 20 points per game. They gave up 17.8 last season. Not only is that the longest streak in the country, it's more than twice as long as that of any other school. Michigan and Penn State next with 4. Parker, the longest tenured defensive coordinator in the nation, entering year 14, sitting down with Jerry.
Coach, you only have 3 returning starters. When was the last time you had to replace this amount of defenders?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, it's got to be at least 3 or 4 years since this has happened. It's been a while since we had to replace 8 guys, and but I think there's a lot of experience, the guys that have played, so we're really eager to see what they're going to be doing, and they've been here for a long time, so they understand the system.
So how does it impact your install, or how you teach it, or how big the scheme is?
Well, I tell you what, I think it's all the same a little bit, but I think this year we kind of went slower on the install a little bit and tried to get more of our stuff run that we're going to run early. And then, of course, we're still installing right now. So usually by this time we're done with installing, and we just took a couple extra days.
You have 2 returning starters on the defensive line. That's probably the position, obviously, that brings back the most players. Give us a rundown, position by position, and start with the D-line. Tell us about some of the guys you have.
Well, Kirk, look at him. He's coming back. He's a guy that has great effort. He's the guy you want on your team. He's a leader by example, and I think he's going to be a strong defensive end for us. Another guy is Aaron Graves, that played a lot. The 2 guys up front. He's doing a really good job in the camp area. And then Maxwell, he's a defensive end that's played a little bit, but the left end, he's showing some promise, and he's obviously more mature and understands it and more detailed in what's going on. So as up front, them 3 guys, and then we had 2 guys that transferred in, and Pace and Hawthorne is 2 guys that we're going to be counting on inside to help us out. And, Pitt, we're trying to get Pitt back going, and so I think we sturdied it up, and I think we have, at least 8 to 10 guys that we feel comfortable going out up front. And then you go back at the linebacker depth over there. Got Harold coming back. He hasn't really started a game, but he's been there a long time. He's done a really good job at the Mike backer. You got the Rex Schroff outside if we were in 40 defense. He's been doing a good job. He knows what to do, and he's been looking pretty good. And Shire's probably been the biggest surprise right now. He's really done a good job, and we've been switching some of those backers around to making sure that they get reps, and we got some depth. Montgomery's done a good job as a backup guy over there right now, and we got some younger guys that we think are going to help us and maybe get their feet wet a little bit in special teams. That's going to help us there. And then obviously in the back end, T.J. Hall is coming back as a returning starter at their corner. And I think I'm pretty confident in some of the safeties that we have. And, you look at Cohen, Lutmer, and Xavier, 3 guys that have a lot of experience and been on the field and been in big games before. So we're pleased about that. And Deshaun Lee at the right corner, he's been doing really well. Watson's a young guy at corner that's really showed some promise, and make sure that he's functioning well. Right. So very happy with where we're at right now, but obviously we're still, it's like being on a cruise, right? You just see the water right now, and we're not at port yet, and we don't see land, so we're still midway through camp.
So do you find yourself wanting to scrimmage more because you have so much to replace, so many players to replace?
Well, here, we do a lot of teamwork here anyways, and we're going to get our reps. Don't matter like who we have, whether we have the returners back, and everything's really based on the head coach, what he wants to do. So if he wants to scrimmage a little bit more, it's hard to go out and with the limits of there was 105 going to be on the roster, and just talking about the roster spots, and then all of a sudden you're going to cut it, and then all of a sudden it's a little bit harder to practice. We're going to have to change some things as we go, and it might be whether it's in the season how we address it, or towards the end of here at camp.
You don't change much, I don't believe, on defense, but when you do want to research and try to tweak things, where do you go?
Where do I go?
Yeah, I mean, do you go to the NFL? Do you study other college tapes? How do you adjust?
Usually, there's a couple teams out there that function. Sometimes we'll just grab some tape and just try to get some other ideas, and maybe it might be some guys in the conference that we play. And you're just trying to always upgrade what things fit us with the personnel that we have, and does that fit into our system?
All right. I noticed you don't use the communication, the walkie-talkie. Is there any special reason they won't give you one?
I think I've been outlawed from having the clicker. Usually what happens is we go through my headsets over to Seth, and then he gets to the mic backer. That's probably the best way to explain it, how we're doing it. We do signal in, but, nowadays people still signals, and so sometimes you got to change it up. You got to give a signal and then make another call with the mic linebacker. So
I actually thought it was because of your colorful personality. Appreciate your time, Coach.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, Jerry.
A look at Parker's D in action with defensive linemen Ethan Herkett, Aaron Graves, Max Llewellyn, and Brian Allen all back this season. The question marks are at linebacker. Jay Higgins, Nick Jackson, both prolific tacklers, have moved on. Just 4 returning starters on that side of the ball for the Hawks. Let's dive into this defense. I kind of said it when I was talking to Kirk Ferentz. We just all assume that it's going to be good. I think there's a lot of evidence to support the notion that it's going to be good. So why is it going to be good? What stood out?
The way they practice. Okay, you look at the defensive line, they always have leverage. They might not be 6'5", but they are going to be underneath the offensive line's pads. Phil Parker's going to run basically the same scheme. He's a very creative play caller within that scheme, so the coaches haven't changed. He's really excited about the back end and the youth back there. But it's pretty much the same defense. It's practiced the same way. They compete physically during practice. And I think for those reasons, they're going to be good again.
Yeah, why it's going to be good is it starts with Phil Parker. He's the constant. And, you know, when you watch Iowa's defense practice, you wonder, it's almost deceiving. You're like, how is this unit so good every year? Because it's not like there's top 5 picks on the defensive line. It's not like they're running a bunch of exotic schemes. But the sum is greater than the parts. The system really drives this defense. And when you talk about these new faces in the linebacker room, these are veterans on the roster. They're experts in Phil Parker's system. Okay, you're replacing some pieces in the back end. Also, older veteran guys that know this system. Basically, if you just listen to what Coach Parker says and you do what he says, you are going to be in position to make plays. All 11 guys play on a string, and it leaves no vulnerabilities in the back end.
And I would build on the staff with position coaches. I mean, these guys have been together for a long time. I mean, I'm guessing, you know, any one of them could call the defenses if they had to. So consistency on the staff, but the way they practice is the same every year regardless of the personnel.
And so you have this level of consistency that you guys are talking about. And I think one of the things, it's hard in this day and age, it's hard to be a developmental program. And this is an area where they've really excelled. But, I mean, linebackers are a case in point here. We're looking at 3 new starting linebackers, but these are guys who have been in the program. And you look out there, and Jerry, we've been coming here for 19 years, right, and it looks about right, even though they're replacing some really productive players.
Right, and if you look at the staff, how few coaching changes there are in the staff, that's one reason. If you look at the way Kirk Ferentz structures practice, that doesn't change. So if I'm a young player who's an average prospect or an average player as a first or second year player, by the time I get to play here, I've got this thing pretty well down.
And Aaron Graves, you know, talking to him, he spoke about the linebackers as far as they're making their calls. He said they feel very comfortable back there. They're making calls with confidence. And again, I go back to this system where if the Iowa linebackers, if you just do your job, read your keys, the ball will just be funneled right back to you. You have a chance to make 70, 80, even 100 tackles a year. So, again, it's just the system is the driver of the defensive success.
One of the interesting things is the practices during team aren't scripted as much as most staff script the practice. So, you know, you got Phil on the sidelines, you know, trying to cause the offensive guy, Tim Lester, problems. I mean, they go back and forth. It makes it competitive for the coaches.
Yeah.
But the player, I think the players really enjoy it too.
Right. I mean, hey, if you can succeed offensively against this defense, you can succeed, period, right? It would build confidence. It might build a lack of confidence if they don't. But, again, it is really fun. This is a place where they really compete. We see it year in and year out, and certainly saw evidence of that today. We turn our attention to the offense next. We will speak with a couple of the stars of that unit, including new quarterback Mark Gronowski, coming up.
First step, unlock your knee.
Covers high.
Elbows tight, bring your knee.
Keep those elbows tight.
Good. Eyes through your block.
The Iowa offensive line paved the way for Caleb Johnson to go over 1,500 rushing yards last season as the Hawks jumped from 107th in the nation in rushing to 24th. Also allowed just 17 sacks. Only 3 teams in the Big Ten gave up fewer. That all music to the ears of new QB Mark Gronowski, who's thrown for more than 10,000 yards and rushed for nearly 1,800 in his college career. Gronowski and center Logan Jones with Jake.
All right, Logan, I want to start with you. We talked with Aaron. Both of you guys got married over the summer. So first off, congratulations. Did the whole O-line come? How many guys on the team joined you?
There were a lot of dudes there, basically the entire O-line from my first year playing center in 22 to this next year right now. So probably about 20 offensive linemen there. It was ridiculous.
What's the food bill?
we had to raise it a little bit. We were scared we wouldn't be able to make it. We had 250 people there, but we planned for 270 because we knew they were going to eat all the food, and we made them go towards the end so people would have food.
That's a great time, and I know you guys consumed a lot of beef between both of your weddings. All right,
Absolutely.
Mark, want to talk about, take me back to when you first decided to join Iowa. What went into that decision?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that went into that decision, but I mean, one, just starting with this is a very similar culture to where I was at South Dakota State. It's just a Midwest culture, willing to work hard, tough physical football. Here at Iowa, you got another great coach like Coach Ferentz, and I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, and it's been really interesting to hear him in all the meetings and how many like wise words and how many things that I've gotten to learn from him. But then it all really came down to Coach Lester and how great of a coach he is and how great of an offense that he's kind of brought here to Iowa, and he has a lot of great things to teach me as well to help me get to the next level. So
let's stay there for a second. What is it that makes him a great coach, and specifically about his offensive scheme? What do you like?
Yeah, just with the offensive scheme, it's a pro-style offense, and it's ran by over 20 teams in the NFL. It's that Shanahan system, so there's a lot of motions, a lot of movement, a lot of help pre-snap to understand what coverages we're facing, what we're facing against. But when I came here on my visit, I sat with him for multiple hours, and we just talked football. And he's just a football mind, and he knows so much knowledge, and he's willing to share it all. And I like learning a lot, so he's a great person to learn from.
How about for you? I mean, this is year 2 now in Coach Lester's system.
Yeah.
What were some of the big key changes made last year, and what are you excited about for this fall?
I mean, he's just added so much. Honestly, we go into unit meetings and it feels like gibberish because there's only so many ways you can run inside, outside zone, right? So we do our stuff, and then hearing him talk to the receivers, quarterback, I'm just like, well, what is going on right now? But I know they have a lot on their plates and all these motions, which helps us out because, you know, we can get an Uno box or 2 guys in the box and they're moving around here and there. But everything he does, there's like a reason why, and it definitely helps us out. And then obviously our backs too, they do a great job with it.
Mark, I'm sure you're familiar. There's a narrative around Iowa quarterback play, and there's a ton of expectations and pressure on your shoulders to be the guy to take this offense to the next level. How do you deal with those expectations?
Yeah, a lot of people ask like about the pressure that I'm feeling or anything like that. So, but I usually just kind of look at it as more of an opportunity. Like, I mean, what a blessing I have in front of me to be a quarterback at the University of Iowa, have all these great guys around me, these great playmakers, this great O-line. So I just got to go out there and play free and just be who I am. I don't have to be anybody else. I don't have to be Superman out there. I just got to be able to play my game, and the guys will make plays around me.
Tell me about the playmakers. Who stands out to you from the receivers, even the tight ends?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that have been standing out this camp. Our running backs have been really, really good. But in the receiver room especially, there's a lot of guys that have a lot of different talents, and we're going to continue to use guys differently and where they're going to succeed. It's been a really fun camp and competitive for them. And then in the tight end room, I mean, Zach Ortworth and Addison Estranga have done a really good job at just continuing to grow in the pass game, but also just dominate in the run game as well. And I give out to shout out to Hayden Large too, and just knocking people around. And he had a good pancake block today, which was always fun to see.
Tight end play is a given here.
Yes.
All right, last one, Logan, before we let you go. Yeah. You got named to the Bruce Feldman's Freak List. How did you find out about that news?
Yeah.
And what is it like being named to the Freaks List?
Yeah, my mom loves to read those articles and stuff, so she sends it to me. I mean, it's pretty cool, right? I got to talk to Bruce at Big Ten Media Days too, and talk to him about some of our guys made it as well. Our guard, Cade Pieper and Preston Reese. So, be among that list, and you look at the guys on the list, they're all great football players. It's awesome for Bruce, put me on that list, and it truly is a blessing.
Awesome. Logan, Mark, appreciate the time, guys.
Thanks for having us on.
The dramatic conclusion of our show next. We'll take a look at the schedule ahead for Iowa, plus get Jerry and Jake's final thoughts on what we saw today as we wrap things up from Iowa City. Wrapping things up from Iowa City, the Hawks getting set for their season opener against the Great Danes of Albany, August 30th, the game you can see over on FS1. Looking at the rest of the schedule, we've got Game 3 against UMass. The conference slate is very challenging, includes 3 of the Big Ten's 4 playoff teams from last year, but they're all at home. Indiana, Penn State, and Oregon also have tough road tests in Madison, at USC, and on Black Friday against the Huskers. A lot of adjectives for that schedule. I would say easy is not one of them. I mean, it's a challenging schedule this year for Iowa. What does it mean to have some of those really tough games, though, here at Kinnick?
Well, I can speak from experience. It's a really tough place to win. I mean, my senior year, we were undefeated coming in here. I believe we're the number 2 team in the country, and on paper, it was a game we should have won. But it's just really challenging to win. The Kinnick crowd feeds off their team success, and the way the team is structured is built in a way to control the game. The offensive line is a big strength. The defense is extremely experienced in terms of older guys. And just magic happens at Kinnick. I don't think a number of those games are confirmed as night games, but that would be another factor to play into as well.
Yeah, and I would go from there, Jake, to how this particular Iowa team is going to be built. Think about it. The offensive line looks like it's going to be the best offensive line they had in recent years. They have at least 6 or 7 guys that can play. 2 of the 3 starters on defense are from the defensive line. So they're going to be built line of scrimmage out. Mark Gronowski, I mean, the best quarterback they've had in a while. So when you look at being built at the line of scrimmage, having a veteran quarterback, and then those opponents that you talked about, Jake, this is going to be a really good team, especially in Kinnick.
It feels like they're going to be in a lot of close games.
Yep.
They often are, and are a team that creates turnovers, as we know, creates havoc on defense, and you just feel like it's going to come down to, do some of those plays go your way? Because if they do, it could be a special year. I mean, I think it's fair to look at this team and say they could get on a roll.
And I would add to this, the job LeVar Woods does with the special teams, every time it's up to a special team to win a game, his units are always ready.
Well, they have a great punter and a great kicker heading into this year. Drew Stevens is fabulous.
Adding to that, they don't make mistakes. I mean, it's a true statement that more games are lost than won, and I think the veteran aspect and the experience and the older guys on this team, that plays a big factor into those games as well.
Well, 9 straight full seasons, they've won at least 8 games. I think the question is, can you figure out a way to win 9 or 10 and be in that college football playoff discussion? We are off next to Wisconsin. We will check in on the Badgers trying to bounce back after seeing their 22 straight bowl game streak come to an end last year. Luke Fickell and company going through their practice, and we will check it out coming up next here on our tour. It's going to do it for us from Iowa City. I want to thank Matt Weitzel, everyone here at Iowa, for making things so easy for us. Always a tremendous visit. Thanks so much for joining us on this look at the Hawkeyes. We will see you from Madison as we continue here on the Big Ten Network's preseason tour.